Um, Explain the parts into divide this kind of exam, teacher.
Okay, so explaining about what you watched last weekend, last week.
Teacher, sorry, I can hear you.
Wait a second. Yeah. Okay, Jonathan,
Yes,
please
teacher.
continue summarizing the video you watched.
Well, the video, it was like the first part of the IELTS exam. And here the interviewer makes the short introduction. Then the candidate also introduce himself or herself. That
Mhm.
person chose the ID. And well, in the first part is all about personal questions and also hobbies or family.
Okay, very good. That's exactly what IELTS Part 1 is treated about.
Yes.
So
And
don't please, we are about to finish our encounters. Please continue watching the video and answering to the quiz at the module.
okay, teacher.
Mm, tonight, we are going to practice IELTS Part 1. Remember, you have to introduce yourself, and then I'm going to ask you 4 or 5 questions about the topic. So you need, it takes around 4 or 5 minutes,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Mm, no problem. But the thing is that as you have a great level of English, good pronunciation, and honestly, you speak fluency, this time I'm not gonna show you the questions, okay?
Okay.
Because you have a good listening comprehension and a speaking skill. I'm not going to show you the questions. We are going to have a conversation, an English conversation. So let's gonna start with our practice tonight. And the first candidate, JD, is
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
JD. I have the chronometer in my hand, but don't worry. I'm not going to scare you tonight.
Okay.
Take it easy. Take it easy, JD. JD, please start with your introduction, and then I will ask you 4 or 5 questions. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. I am Tatiana Rodriguez. I am bachelor student in degree in English as a foreign language. I live in Acacias Meta. I am 25 years old. I have 3 brothers. Actually, I live with my uncle. About my job, I'm working in a company. That company is dedicated to the special transport of people.
Mhm.
In the university, I'm doing the practice. I enjoy share my time with the kids. I enjoy share with my family, with my friends, and basically that is me.
Okay, thank you. JD. JD, okay, let's move to a different topic, and we are going to discuss about magazines and newspapers. My question is, the first question, which do you prefer reading, newspapers or magazines, and why?
Okay, I prefer the newspaper because it's better structured. It is a focus for all the people because the magazine is just only for the entertainment or something like that. In the newspaper, we can um, read the news. We can understand about different topics of the actually. In the other hand, the newspaper is divided in different parts.
Yeah.
The magazine is just the or I don't know, always like an interview with other people, like that type of these things. In the newspaper, we can see different topics, news, sports, entertainment también. Sorry, entertainment.
Also, yeah.
Also,
Okay, JD, you can find, in addition, in a newspaper, you can find stories, announcements, okay?
yes,
And what type of stories do you like to read about?
in the newspaper.
Yeah, of course.
I love, I don't know, maybe new laws and new um, policies and about the economy, about what will happen with the different region in our country, like the leaders, the students, the children in different parts in Colombia, and I can read about the actually the different topics in the actually.
Totally. Okay, very good. JD, you as a student at UNAT um, are learning about English as a foreign language.
Yes.
So, do you consider that reading a magazine or a newspaper can help you in this process, in the learning process?
Of course, teacher. I think that the read, I can acquire new vocabulary. I can improve my skills in
Mm-hmm.
pronunciation and in grammar. I can speak more fluid with more fluence, and we can think in a different way, maybe with argument or different opinions.
JD, okay. Finally, the last question for you. Why do why do you think some people prefer magazines to newspapers? Do people
Um,
prefer reading magazines or newspapers?
Okay, like I said before, I prefer the newspaper, but the people actually prefer the magazine. Maybe I think this is for lazy. The people see some article about economy, about policy, about new laws, and don't like read and ignore maybe the topic, and I think that is so ugly because we are living to learn something important for our life. I think
Okay,
that
JD.
yes, teacher.
JD, thank you so much. To be honest, you have done a great presentation.
Okay,
My
teacher.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, Jonathan, it's your turn,
Yes, teacher.
my buddy.
Okay.
So introduce
Yes.
yourself now.
Okay. Hello. My name is Jonathan. I'm 22 years old. Currently, I'm living in Bogota. I have living here for about 8 months. And I'm also working here in Bogota in a contact center. I work for a company that is about means of transportation in United States and Canada. But I just need to write. I don't need to contact people by phone or things like that, because when you normally mention a call center, you always think about calls. But in my case, it's not applicable. And I'm also a student at United University. I'm in seventh semester in English as a second language, and that's it.
Mhm. Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan, let's change the topic. This time we're not going to talk about magazines and newspaper, but to talk about comedy and humor. What type of programs do you find funny on TV?
Well, I'm not the kind of person that really likes uh, keep watching, comedies of on TV or on the cell phone. But when I do have the time, I use Netflix, and and I really like watching some comedies. For example,
Mhm.
I'm watching one that is called Little Sheldon, that is about a little boy that he's like very clever. He's tends to have some behaviors like as a scientific person, and the family is very religious, is very conservative. So it is quite funny because he always is against of their ideas, because he thinks in facts, and the family is always thinking about religious things and things, for example, God and so on.
Great, nice going. Jonathan, in spite of that program that you usually watch on TV, which types of programs are most popular in Colombia and why? In spite of that.
Well, I think that there are the types of programs that are very popular in Colombia are like the reality shows. I have heard, for example, a lot of my friends that they arrive at work and they start talking about Yo Me Llamo. That is a, a program where the idea is that people needs to imitate the person. For example, Lady Gaga, but they need to personalize it, and they need to be really like them in not just in their voice but also in their physical appearance. And I think that those are the more common programs in Colombia.
Okay, great. Jonathan, when you, for instance, are invited to a party, most of the people over there are laughing, others are have a great conversation, maybe others are telling jokes. They try to have a good time. They try to line for a lot. So, what kind of things make you laugh? Because you're not serious all the time.
Yes.
Okay, you love laughing. Okay, what things makes you laugh?
Well, there are many things that makes me laugh, but for example, when I don't know, when for example someone is doing something and suddenly he, I don't know, falls and hit himself or herself. I don't know, but I try to not smile, but it's so hard for me that I can, and I just wah, and everyone is saying, Jonathan, why you are so cruel? But it's not something that I can control. It's I don't know. It's just it's just very funny for me. Eh, yes.
But Jonathan, on the other hand, if you see a friend of yours that's very serious, and this is not the situation, so do you do something to make him or to make her laugh for a while?
Mm,
So if that's true, what do you do?
yes. Well, where in fact, I have most of my friends. Well, my best friend is very serious, and when we are going to Paris, uh, I just can make her like smile, but I don't know. I gave her like some couples and beers, in order to, I don't know, in order to her to feel like more relaxed, and after that she starts like talking and she expresses like in a different way. But I'm not the kind of person that when I meet someone that is serious, makes some jokes in order to make him or her funny. I don't know, I can't.
Mhm. Okay, Jonathan, to finish this topic, I mean to go to the end of it. So your final question this time is, do you think it is important to have a good sense of humor?
Yes, I think that it is good because I have read that it is not only good for your health, but for example, when you smile, you are like working with your muscles in your face, so you are going to make them to be more stronger. And I also think that people with charmful personalities are the kind of person that tends to get jobs that are related with leadership. So if you are like a person that has these kind of personalities, you are more likely to be in good positions when it comes to work with groups like leadership.
Nice going, Jonathan. Thank you so much for sharing your experience or your point of view with us tonight.
Thank you.
So relax for a while, Jonathan. You are going to listen. JD.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
JD. Our last practice tonight is not about humor. It's not about newspaper, but it's about food. So, do you enjoy cooking? Why or why not?
No, teacher, I don't like.
So you prefer eat out to go to a
Yes,
restaurant or to
yes,
visit any relative? So
yes,
please
teacher.
tell me when you go, for example, to a restaurant, do
Okay.
you consider that type of food is better than the food made at home?
I don't know. Maybe if you eat in your home, you can eat. Maybe the food is clean, is with a good flavor. In a restaurant, we don't know. We can know what is the process for cook, and sometimes the food is better and very expensive. In the streets is very expensive, but I think that is
JD.
yes, teacher.
Okay, finish. Okay, good. JD, but if you have if you have a free time, you have the day off, and it is a Saturday, e.g., and you have the time to cook something, what would you cook? Cook.
Mm, the truth, all the days I cook because I need to make my breakfast. All the nights I arrive to make the dinner. In the night is so basic. A juice with a bread or sandwich. Um, Maybe
Food.
chocolate with bread.
Mhm.
Maybe some of the of the lunch, and that is all,
Okay.
teacher. Maybe eggs.
J,
The eggs
J,
can be fault.
okay. JD, have you heard the word mashed potato? You know what mashed potato is?
I don't understand,
Have,
teacher.
have
Potato,
you
yes.
eaten mashed potato? Have you eaten mashed potato? You know how to make
Like
it?
a teacher, like a puree. Commonly like a puree of potato.
Yes. Do you like it?
Yes,
Have
I
you
like.
eaten it before?
Yes, I really enjoy eat that type of foods. Um, it's easy to prepare, and
Yeah. Yeah, it's
it's
easy to.
yes with sausages. I don't know, maybe the pronunciation sausages with potato is so good.
Uh-huh. Okay, there are many popular food in Colombia. So could you please mention three of them to Jonathan and me?
Um, okay, I don't know what is the name in English, but I think that is
Eh,
I don't know.
Don't worry,
Eh,
take it easy. Please say them in Spanish.
okay, we have the ajiaco, the bandeja paisa, and I don't know, maybe the tamales. I don't like, but it's very popular in Colombia.
Where in Bogota or Boyacá? Tamales and
There are for Tolima, really, but actually all the
Tolima.
people eat tamal.
amount. What about wait a second, JD. We have a great conversation tonight. What about it is made of a pork. The pork is in an oven, a microwave, something like that. How do you call to the food, the dish? Lechona. Lechona.
Yes.
Where,
So,
where is the
so
where is the made? In Tolima, also.
yes, I think that.
Okay. What happened to the Pacific coast about the food over there?
Basically, it's fish, but really, I don't know that part of the country, and I don't have the opportunity to eat that type of dish.
Okay, fish and plantain. I consider plantain. Plantain is like a banana. Plantain, plátano. Okay. In the Caribbean, San Andres Island, for example,
I
you
don't know,
don't.
maybe camarons
Okay.
and more fish.
Okay. The Atlantic coast. Yes, and seafood, oysters, crabs. What about the Atlantic coast? Barranquilla, Cartagena,
Um,
Valledupar.
I don't know, arepa de huevo. I don't like, but it's very popular in Barranquilla. Um, empanadas.
Chicharrones,
Yes,
uh,
chicharrones. Fritanga.
empanadas. Okay, let's go to the west of Colombia, Santander.
Hormigas culonas.
Okay. What about listen, it's like a soup. I don't remember the name so well, but it looks like a soup, but you put some milk and cheese on it.
Changua. Changua.
Ja-
I don't
okay.
like because the smell is like a parrot. I don't know why, but the smell is like a parrot.
Okay, Loro. What about the south of Colombia? Food. The Amazon.
Um, they have the bagoring. I don't know more, but really is fish. They survive with the rivers.
Okay. JP, is it an important part of your culture to have a dinner party? Why? For example, in December, what happened? Do you have a special dinner?
Yes, in Christmas, my family pay to a lady do some tamales. I don't like the tamales, but all my family like the tamales. And for New Year, we eat. I don't remember in English. Pao. What is
What?
pao? Pao.
Turkey.
What is in English? I don't remember.
I don't hear well.
Turkey.
How?
Turkey.
Turkey?
Turkey. Yes, Turkey.
Pavo, turkey?
Yes.
Yeah,
Tur-
veal turkey. And what about hallacas?
I don't have a good experience with the hallacas. All the days, source pass from my hand in the 5:30 in the morning, saying hallacas, 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 and really I don't like, and I don't know. I think that is like a tamal, but more little.
Mhm. Okay, JD,
Here,
fine.
the
Okay.
share of the hallacas are passing is from my hand in this moment.
Yeah, they have many raisins inside. Raisins. Uvas pasas, raisins inside. Finally, JD, do you prefer to eat with other people or on your own?
I enjoy it with other people, or maybe friends, partners of my job or my family. It is in a restaurant or the street, and it's so cool.
Mhm. Okay, great, JD. Thank you so much for your participation.
Okay,
Participation. Jonathan,
okay.
Yes,
are
teacher.
you sleeping? Are you sleeping?
No, I was laughing of everything.
Do you want to eat an ajaca tonight or a pastel?
No, teacher.
No. Okay. No, I'm pulling your leg. I'm teasing you, Jonathan. Jonathan, uh, now we are going to discuss your nighttime dreams with you.
Okay.
Dreams.
Audrey.
Okay?
Okay.
Do you drink much at night?
Yes, teacher. And I'm the kind of person that dreams a lot of crazy things. For example, last night I dreamt that I was able to fly, and I was also able to make things move with my mind, and that's very crazy. And I also dreamt that the extraterrestrials, I don't know what's the real name, OB,
Aliens? Aliens?
aliens, yes, were absorbing
Aliens?
me into the floating thing. I don't know what's the real.
The spaceship? The spaceship?
Yeah, something like that. And I woke up really scared, and I am the kind of person that every time that dreams something that I'm not familiar with, I search on Google what is the meaning. I'm so crazy, teacher, and what does it mean dreaming with? And I made a list of results, and I always try to make that. I don't know why, but it's like a hobby, something like that.
Mhm, mhm. Jonathan, do you often remember your dreams?
Not always, teacher. Actually, well, I got out of work very late. I'm arriving here at my house at around 12 in the evening, so it's very late. And sometimes I need to make some university tasks. So I'm taking a sleep at around 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. So it is not good, but I normally slept at that time, and I just sleep like between 5 or 6 hours. And when I sleep a little time, I'm not able to remember my dreams. But when I have the opportunity to sleep a lot, I usually remember what I was dreaming.
Mhm, good. Jonathan, when a person had a bad dream, it is called nightmare,
Yes,
right? A
yes.
nightmare. Good. Uh, do you think human being, can learn anything from dreams? When you have a dream, you learn something from it.
Uh, well, in my case, I think that it is true. I'm a kind of a very spiritual person, and I think that dreams and the reality we live in are really connected. And for example, a friend of mine, he read a book, and he told me that, for example, when we dream, we in the dream we expresses the some things that, for example, we would like to make here, but we can, because of the society, or because maybe it is forbidden. So he says that it is like a way to escape from reality. It's something
Mhm.
like quite strange, but I think we can always learn from dreams. And for example, I don't know, but one time I had a sister, and she has like a kind of psychiatric problem. And one time I was sleeping and I was dreaming with her, and I woke up very scared, and I called my mom to ask for her, and it was very surprisingly that she told me that she was at the hospital because she had an accident. So I think that yes.
Good, good, good. Great, great. Jonathan, talking about literature, especially short stories,
Yes.
do you believe that a dream can be turned into reality? For instance, you have a, I understood you had a dream about aliens, you know? If you
Yes.
decide to write a poem or a short story, do you consider this will be an approach for literature in English?
Yes, well, I haven't thought in that before, but most of the literature or tale stories are about fantasy, in
Yeah.
some cases, adventures, actions. But when, for example, it comes to aliens, it is not commonly heard about, uh, literature review about aliens. So it would be a really good idea. So we can change papers and introduce new topics that maybe other people would be very interested in.
In it. Okay, good. Finally, Jonathan, do you think that dreams can come true? Can come true? Remember that in this case, the question goes through something, some maybe a thought that you want to be done, to be reached. Not only the dream that you have when you go to bed. Do you
Ye-
understand me? Okay. Do you consider so that dreams can come true?
Yes, well, not all the dreams, because for example, if I'm dreaming that I'm able to sleep, maybe it's now it's impossible, but maybe in the future with the advance of scientific devices, we will be able. But most of the dreams, for example, people often tend to dream with their professional careers. For example, sometimes I have dreamt about being a teacher in a classroom. So I think that in that case, it would be a really probably dream to happen in the future. It depends, because we cannot become true dreams that for something that is, for example, about a lot of fiction, such as powers or something like that. But for example, being able to be rich, have a house, being able to buy a car, those are possible dreams that can become true.
Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan,
Thank you, teacher.
your English, my appreciation. Your English is you speak proper English and
Thank you.
is fluently, as well as JD. Great pronunciation, clear pronunciation. Your English is you speak fluent. You speak English fluently. So continue hitting until master your language. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, teacher.
So to finish this encounter tonight, I want you to draw or to read a conclusion about this experience. JD, you
Yes,
start
teacher.
whenever you want.
Okay. Um, I think that we need to improve all the skill of communication. Personally, I have a serious problem with grammar. In this type of encounters, help me to enhance my objectives of this course. And I so grateful for the teacher and the parents because I can learn a little about all they and about the topic that we talk in this session. I think it is important because was different topics about the newspaper, foods, magazine, likes, and hobbies, and maybe the dreams of each of one, and this is so good for improve our vocabulary. Yeah.
Okay, good. So you mean that you as a woman, as a professional, can learn from Jonathan and from me this time, right? And whoever other person. Good. Jonathan, please draw your conclusion.
Well, I think that these kind of exercises are very useful when it comes to the international examinations. You know, in this case, we have studied the CAE and the IELTS, which are ones of the most commonly heard examinations in real, you know, international examinations for English language. So I think it is a good opportunity for us to practice, to
Yeah.
get involved with it, and we can learn and have a little bit of practice. For example, if we want in the future to make this type of some examinations, in my case, I would like to present or to take the CAE exam. So this type of exercises is very useful because we develop the communicative skills that I think that it is the most difficult part when you are learning a language, because you can learn grammar and lots of vocabulary, but for example, if you're going to speak and you got stuck, even though that you know a lot of this vocabulary and grammar, it's not good. So I really like when we have these environments of these meetings, because I can express, and I always try to watch the recordings, and I check the video, and I say myself, oh my goodness, in that part I made a mistake, I need to correct that. So it is good.
Okay. Okay, Jonathan, lady. Uh, what to say? My appreciation. You did a great job, a great and unforgettable job tonight. Honestly, my congratulations, my appreciation. So time is passing quickly by. You look a little tired, you know, both of you.
Yeah.
JD and Jonathan, you look a little tired. I know so well that you were working today. So I think it is time, as British people say, the Sandman is knocking at the window. Listen, the Sandman is knocking at the window. British people, especially in London, Manchester, they use that expression. Uh, but on the contrary, Americans and Canadians, they say, it's time to hit the sack. Okay, both expressions, to hit the sack. And the Sandman is knocking at the window. That means that it's time to go to bed. It's time to go to bed. To hit the sack. Jonathan, JD, when you listen an American or a Canadian, man or woman, oh, it's too late. I have to hit the sack. That means that he wants to go to bed and sleep.
It's time to
So
sleep.
the same in British English. The Sandman is knocking at the window. So that means the person wants to go to bed. Okay? So
Okay.
it's time for us to hit the sack. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jonathan and JD. You did a great job. Good
Thank
night, buddies. Good night.
Good night, teacher.
Good night, teacher. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay.